Hi, everyone. It's the Lovewell Real Estate team. We're here again mid-month to do another report on what's happening in the housing market in the East Bay. And it is Katie Lovewell here and Louise Lovewell and Margaret Hanson. We're very happy to be with you today. And it's interesting what we're going to be showing you today because normally trends are not perfect, right? We see kind of different things going on in each city. They can generally follow a pattern, but they're usually not doing the same thing all the time. And this time, we are seeing a definite trend that sellers are going to be happy about. From January to February of this year, we have a significant increase in the median sales price in pretty much every city that we're going to see today. So for sellers, this is really good news. If you're entering the market right now, good job. You timed it pretty well. So Katie's going to run through the numbers with us.
All right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start in the south part of Alameda County and start with Fremont. So just as Margaret explained, we are going to see this like U-shaped curve for most of these cities. You know, some are going to start turning around December, or not December. They're going to be the low point, going to be December, maybe January, but you're definitely going to see this upward curve. So you can definitely see the median sales price has greatly increased from January to February. Average sales price, not extreme, although when you can look from December's numbers to where February's numbers are, definitely a huge difference. And then again, looking at inventory, because that's a big reason why we're seeing all these numbers being pushed up. I think it's a number, it's like buyer pent-up demand, as well as just low inventory compared to where it was before. Like in February, we just had 30 active. Last year, there was 53 active. And historically, we're at 103 homes sold, although it's higher than compared to last year, but in years past, 129, 164, definitely higher numbers for how many homes had already sold at that point. Moving to Hayward, again, very sharp. I mean, the new median sales price is higher than all the prices last year. I mean, like almost 100,000. It's quite a jump up. Same thing for average sales price, big increase, bigger than any of the average sales prices last year. And again, inventory, they're only active, 36 active at the end of February versus last year, there was 54 active. And in terms of historical, only 86 homes have been sold so far this year compared to years, I guess last year was really a low year, 76 the year before, 118, 122, 100. So, you know, we're below 100, whereas it seems more typical to be above a little over 100. All right, so that was Hayward. San Leandro, not as sharp increase as Hayward, but definitely, you know, a good turn of the curve, both for median and average sales price. The inventory is actually not that different, but it is slightly down. 26 active at the end of February compared to 29 last year. And then again, overall homes sold is definitely down compared to years prior. So 49 so far this year. Last year was 52 at this point, 70 the year before, 69 the year before, and 44 the year before that. Then we get into Castro Valley, again, very sharp increase. Not quite as extreme as Hayward's uptick, but either way, getting close to their peak from last year. And again, both in the average and sales or median and average sales price. Inventory also down 17 at the end of February compared to 25 last year. And then again, number of homes for sale definitely way down compared to years prior. 27 homes have been sold so far this year. Last year was 43. The year before was 52. The year before was 57. The year before was 60. So we're like half of what is about half, you know, compared to years before. Although again, last year was a lower year. All right, moving to Alameda, very sharp, similar to Hayward, like above and beyond the last peak for the median sales price. Average sales price way up as well, 1.6. You know, again, the peak last year was 1.5 in June. So we're hitting that already, even though interest rates are still up. Inventory, it's about the same as last year, 20 active at the end of February versus 20 active at last February. And interestingly enough, it's still lower for overall number of homes sold is 20 compared to 28 last year and 28 the year before. But 3 years ago, there were 50 homes in Alameda sold at this time. The year before was 21. In Oakland, again, not prices are coming up. They haven't hit the peak that they're still got a little ways to go, but definitely following that trend of prices coming up. Both average and median sales price. Inventory is actually higher with actives. At the end of February, 276 compared to 265 last year. And then in terms of homes sold overall, 209 so far this year compared to 200 last year, 292 the year before that. 408 in 2021. That was definitely like the big year. And 240 for 2020. Okay, going up to Berkeley. It's starting the upward trend, but it's definitely got a ways to go. But if it's going to follow like all the other cities, we expect that's just going to keep going up. So the average sales price was actually less than last month, but I think median sales price definitely coming up. And in terms of active, 46 the end of February versus 44 last year. And then overall, in terms of houses sold overall by this time in the year, 48 this year compared to 46 last year, 65 the year before, 81, again, big year 2021 compared to 48 in 2020. Moving on to Lafayette, big price increase, jumping up to the peak of what it was last year. Same thing, average sales price actually looks like in April last year was pretty similar, but still, if you look at all the average sales prices for Lafayette compared to where it is now, it's above all the average sales prices. Inventory is actually a little bit higher in Lafayette right now compared to last year. It's 26 versus 20. And then overall homes sold, 29 this year compared to 21 last year, 38 the year before, 48 the year before, and then 23 in 2020. We're almost there, you guys are doing great. All right, Pleasanton. Pleasanton actually, maybe they're the trendsetter. I don't know. They went up and now they're actually starting to decrease. So maybe that's what we will start to see. I mean, there's still prices are going up, but the curve has calmed down. So maybe that'll be the eventual trend for everyone else too. At some point, buyers are just not gonna be able to afford these new high prices. But although the average sales price went down from January to February, but median was up. Active homes right now, 32 versus 38 last year. And then overall homes sold by this time, 39 this year, 39 last year, 57 the year before, 98. More than double in 2021 and 49 in 2020. And last one, Livermore, kind of similar to Pleasanton, definitely gone up, but slowing down in its steepness, although the average sales price is greater than the median, or than it was, average sales price in February is higher than it was in January. And inventory is lower. 27 active in February versus 39 last year in February. And overall number of homes sold definitely down 68. Last year was 89 at this time. The year before was 120. The year before that was 120. And the year before that was 102. So again, I think overall we're seeing that inventory is much lower than it used to be in terms of how many homes are being sold. And, a big part of that may also be that many people who maybe want to buy another home, maybe because they want to either downsize or more likely upgrade, are very happy with their interest rates at 3% or 4%, wherever they are, and do not want to jump up to 6.5%, which is what we're currently seeing the average interest rate to be. So if you're a seller, it's definitely a really great time, as you can see, with prices going up, lots of demand. Buyers, it's definitely a little bit of a rough market, but as you can see with Pleasanton, I do think we are going to see it start to come down and level out. So it should, I think in the next month or so, hopefully start to settle, but I guess time will tell. Anything else you ladies would like to add?
So what I noticed is that when you pointed to that 1 year, 2021, that was the first year after the pandemic. So maybe because in 2020, people were scared or we didn't know what we were doing or whatever. So I'm just going, because pretty much every city you mentioned had high sales like those years in 2021.
And I think we did
when you looked at
from the Bay Area too, a lot, and from California in general, people moving out of state. And maybe, and I've heard now some people are actually coming back. They
Yeah,
tried living somewhere
right.
else. And they're like, I actually don't like it as much as I thought I would. I mean, anyways, not everyone, of course. Some people are very happy where they went. So there could be that factor too. Maybe that's where the extra pent up demand is from people coming back after they left. Margaret, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean, it's just amazing, right? The increase in these cities is it's so quick, so fast, so much, right? And so I think that that can be really hard because, like, as a buyer a couple months ago, you were looking at very different numbers than you are now. And so that's just kind of what it is in the Bay Area, is that it can change so drastically, so quickly. There's so rarely a downtime that lasts a long time. And so that's why trying to time the market is really hard, because it can change so quickly. So expectations need to change, and that can be hard, but we're here to help, and reach out to us, if you're interested in selling or buying.
Definitely.
It still goes to my theory that, to me, the best time for the buyers is always after the kids go back to school until January. Because any buyers that we had during that time, they were able to buy. I mean, look at you, Maggie, didn't you buy during that time? And weren't you the only offer?
October. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I look at Kevin, he was the only offer. And I'm sure there were some others. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's nice when you're able to negotiate and not have to compete with a bunch of people. So it's like, it's pretty good. But now we'll have to see, because again, like the one that Liz and Ted had, they only had 2 offers, but the one offer went crazy. Like you were saying about Trish, she was the only offer, but she was afraid. And so they went crazy, right? I mean, you said they went almost 100,000 over the asking.
Yes, yes. So I think right now is a very
Yeah.
competitive time for buyers. And so if it's not for you, that's okay. You can sit out. It might be, and just keep watching what's happening with the market. Again, I do imagine it's going to slow down. And as Louise said, there is typically a seasonal slowdown in the fall, and everyone keeps telling us interest rates are going to go down. It was predicted to be in May. Now it might be more like the fall, but so I guess that's another thing to watch out for. That can be both helpful for what people can afford, but that also will push prices up. So it'll be interesting.
Right. And if people can, because if the prices go down, then people like Maggie can refinance, because you just have to wait, what, 6 months?
Yeah,
Yep, 6 months.
The interest rates go down, should be a lot of people who want to refinance that bought last year and the years before at 7%, 8%, whatever they bought.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's exciting times.
Oh,
I know.
Bay Area, very interesting. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And not this month, but the next month after, there's also gonna be the factor of the people that are going to get the California Dream program, which is going to help buyers with 10% of their down payment. So that'll be another factor. But
So maybe we should talk about that next month a little bit.
yes, for sure.
Yeah. And remind people next month that we have the free shredding on April 20th.
Yep. If they you can give us a
We'll remind people next month, but yeah, that's coming up. So I think other than that, this weekend will be Happy St. Patty's Day. So everybody make sure you wear your green.
Yeah, or Louise
Good.
is gonna. So anyway. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.